Are you in the market for a new tent and you're not sure which one to buy? There's so many options out there. Well, follow me on my Average Joe adventure here as we talk about pros and cons of different kinds of tents. I've slept in all three of these throughout my years, and I'll show you which ones are my favorite and why. Okay, so this was our first tent. First pro of this tent was it was totally free. It was a wedding gift to us, so highly recommend. If you have a friend who enjoys camping, get them a tent for their wedding. This is the Colman ARA or ARA 4-person tent. This fit our family up until we had, I don't know what, 4 kids? Probably 3.
Probably 4.
4? Maybe 4 kids. Another pro of this one is pretty easy setup. There's really only 2 main crossbars and then a third one here to help pull this tent out like that. So quick setup, probably took us 10 minutes to set this one up. But one of the times we took this tent out, in the middle of the night, there was a huge storm, rained a ton, and the wind was intense. So much so that we had our heads down over here, and this tent was being blown, and it was coming down to our faces. But it never broke or anything. Very, very durable, very flexible. So that's a good feature of these ones. The other thing we liked about this, a lot of tents have this one zipper for the door. The reason we like this one is because it's a lot more vertical. It allows the zipper, we haven't staked the tent down, allows the zipper to be pulled down and used much better. If you're looking for a tent, look for something that's a little more vertical here. That's a little easier on your zippers, doesn't put so much tension on it or stress. All right, so if you come on the back, another cool feature of this one, for any of you pet lovers, they actually have a doggy door on the back of this one. I can't get to it from the outside, but from the inside, oh, let me just lie to you. This one, you can.
Can you tell we didn't have a dog when we had this tent?
Yeah, we didn't have a dog when we had it. So here's our little puppy. Climbing right in, so you don't have to get out. If they need to go potty, you just open the door, then go do their business. Come back in. So, and then there's one other cool feature about this one with the rain fly. So let me show you that. All right. So like I mentioned, the rain fly, obviously the entire tent was just open, which is nice if you're in a hot area for ventilation. But if you have to put the rain fly on, either for privacy or for the rain, it comes with this extended little porch area, which is nice. You can put your chairs here if it's raining or just hot. You can be in the shade here. You can pack your gear here, sit in there, whatever you like. So that was another pro of this tent. Another huge pro of this tent is we've never had to sweep it out. Now it gets plenty dirty, but because it is so small and lightweight and very flexible, durable, I literally leave the door open, grab the bag, and just shake it out, and it's totally clean. It's awesome. No real cons. It's been a phenomenal tent for us. Let's see, so we've had it since 2008, and there's only one hole that I know of on a seam, and we've put it through the ringer. Colman, can't say enough good things about Colman's tents. Did a good job. Since we love that Colman so much, we bought another Colman, but we did learn a few things that we liked really well about that one that we didn't like about this one. So starting with the good things, still super easy. In fact, this one's probably a little easier to set up because there are literally only 2 crossbars and that's it. Your tent is up. Because the other one has a third bar coming across here, it would straighten that up. But this one doesn't have it, so it's really slanted. And we have found that puts a ton of stress on your zipper when it's at that angle. All right, so as you come down, because it's angled, there's so much stress on it that it starts to open and it's not been good. So this tent did not last us nearly as long. The other problem, because this is so tall, they were trying to, make it so that us people could stand in there when we're changing, which really you can only do that right in the center of the tent because it's a dome shape. Hello. But because it is so tall and the zipper comes clear up there, Ava, come over here. So if Ava was gonna try and grab that, it's really tough. She's leaning on the tent. So really not a great tent for families. The mom or dad, who's ever tall enough, is gonna have to reach that. As far as durability though, I mean, everything else held up fine. We've only had it a couple years, but does have a rain fly. We always fold that up inside the tent. for your privacy, for rain. I think that's it. That's this tent. All right, so our most recent addition is this Ozark Trail Tent. We've got 6 kids now. And it holds us really, really well. Pros, the setup was super easy. This is one of those just pop-up style tents. It advertises you 2-minute setup, which is probably accurate as far as just the pop-up style of it. But once you get everything staked down, put the tarp on, it's probably still about 10 minutes, which is still really quick. So it's a great quick setup. Things that we love about it, it's tall. So now we can all stand to get dressed in there. It's more straight up and down as opposed to really angled in. So it's not so hard in the zippers. The other thing is they actually give you these little sections to stake down right where the door comes to. So as you're pulling up against it, it's already pulling tight, pulling down. So that's a really nice feature on that. I think it's gonna save our zippers in the long run. But there are actually 2 zippers. There's one here and then one coming up here instead of one full zipper. That helps with the tension as well. It's nice. Not only that, it's got 2 doors. It's the exact same thing on the other side. We've just decided to only use one door, so there's only one point of entry and less dirt all over the tent. Like one of our other favorite tents, it has this rain fly that has an extendable porch here. You can either stake your rope straight down into the ground, then you kind of risk kids tripping on it, whatnot. Or if you have trees nearby, you can have it going straight out to a tree branch, and then you risk getting clotheslined. Okay, so along the back here, well, I guess you can see into our mess here. Tons of room in the main section here. And if you look back there, there's actually another, they call it a private room. You can zip down and have it separated. So if you come to the back here, it's just this extended section, which easily fits 2 adults. I mean, you can fit probably 3 adults really, but 2 is good. And a kid squished between you, or a dog. All right, so really tons of pros. I think this is a phenomenal tent. I'm really happy we have it. Not sure you can really call it a con because we wanted a big tent. It's gonna take up a big area. So you see how big of an area. It took us a little time finding just the right spot that didn't have huge rocks under it, that was fairly level. When you have a smaller tent, you don't have to worry about it. A bigger tent, you've really got to look and move things around. We even used a shovel to clear out a big rock that was there. So not necessarily a con, but you got to remember that when you have a big tent. The other thing is, since it is a big tent, it comes in a big bag. So this is definitely a car camping tent. I mean, this fills up the entire bag and takes up a fair amount of room in your car. So you got to remember that. Overall, it's a phenomenal tent. I've been really happy with it. And I think you will too. If you've got a big family, I recommend this one a lot. Well, there you have it. That's my review of the 3 tents I've owned so far. 3 different styles of tents, their pros and cons. Let me know, what's an important feature for you when you go camping? What do you look for in a tent that works for your family? Well, if you enjoy this kind of thing, you enjoy being out in nature and camping with your family, then join me on my Average Joe Adventures. And remember,
you're welcome at my fire anytime.